Dis Unlimited proudly presents.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dis Unlimited Podcast, episode 36. I am Rhino, and today I am going to be joined by Dreams Unlimited travel agent Hannah Anderson.
Hey, friends.
Along with our newest member of the Dis team, Chloe Ferrer.
Hi, everyone.
Did I pronounce that correctly? Was it garbled noise?
Sure, yeah, we'll just pretend.
How do you say your last name?
Ferreira.
I know that. I was I wrote it. I couldn't spell it in my script, and it autocorrected.
Like America Ferreira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America's sweetheart. America Ferreira.
Aw, thanks.
Chloe America Ferreira. Thank you for being here today. This podcast is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free, no obligation quote today. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. And if you want to learn more about how you can receive exclusive content from different members of the Dis team, like our live Patreon post show that follows this show after a brief intermission for snacks, food, and whatnot, you can head over to patreon.com/disunlimited. So we're definitely going to be doing that today. There hasn't been a ton of Disney news in the past week, or really much since we had our last live show. So my guess is they're starting to save up some of that stuff for D23, which we are going to be out there and covering all of that. So I'm pretty excited about that. You're going to want to make sure that if you are watching this on YouTube, that you're subscribed to the channel. You've clicked that bell button because it'll give you a little notification whenever we publish videos, because I'm guessing we're going to be doing at least one, if not two, broadcasts a day while we are out there. And if they're not broadcasts, they'll be uploaded shows and stuff. I'm thinking like a midday, pre-evening panel, and then a post-evening panel. So sleep will be non-existent, but always a good time. I do love D23, and we are going to be talking a little bit more about that. Some of the schedule, the main Anaheim Convention Center schedule has been released, and selections are being made now through Friday. So we're going to say some stuff that we're excited about, go over that a little bit. Today, I did want to take some time and just chat. It is Disneyland's 69th birthday this week. Hey-o. So I thought we could share some of our feelings on that place out west. You heard of it? Maybe take some questions from the chat today, since everyone wants us to keep doing this live show. They insist on it. Why not use some of the chat
live,
while we're
baby.
at it?
Yeah.
I thought we could also spend some time getting to know Chloe.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, you.
Also, Hannah as well, because I don't know that we ever did this for you either.
Well, I did a couple hot takes. I'll give you some more.
Well, and we're gonna get to know me a little bit more. We're gonna do a little bit of a
reacquaintance.
Yeah, I want to do a refresh.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's great.
Yeah. So, a soft reboot, if you will, sort of similar to Doctor Who. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Get over it. But
What?
Before we get into that, I just want to say a couple more things here. If you haven't been around for a while, or if you haven't, if you've missed a couple of episodes, you may not know that Craig Williams is no longer employed here. I asked him to turn in his keys. No, he's moved on professionally, and we of course wish him the best of luck. He's an incredible person. I want people to know there is only one Craig, and I'm not the new Craig. Craig is one of the most smartest, most talented people I know. So trying to be a new Craig is not something that I would ever attempt to do, nor should anybody. That man is a workhorse with an incredible breadth of knowledge in every subject that he is familiar with. And of course, I would never say any of this to his face, but I am incredibly sad not to be working with him on a daily basis anymore. And I'm still trying to deal with those emotions around all of that. So I was offered his position, but instead of taking that, just to be a little more, what's it called? Clear? No. Transparent. Thank you. Chloe, that's why you were hired.
Call me a thesaurus.
Her new official position is called word calendar.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
sure, that's not what
Write
Corey
that
told
down.
me, but sure, I'll take it.
Local thesaurian.
Good.
But yeah, there can only be one Craig. And because, again, he's the one and only. He was the Highlander of the Diz. There can only be one. Yeah, another nerd reference. Get over it. I am working on creating a new position with some internal development restructuring and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of fancy talk to just basically tell everyone that as right now, I am the only production team member. And so please just bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. Please.
And doing a great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And looking great, too.
I did build in some time right here where it said shower Rhino with compliments.
Yes, keep it going.
Chloe, did you have something to say too?
Rhino, you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Of course. No one could replace Craig, so.
Okay.
But you're doing a great job with your new position.
Okay, you have earned one Shroot Buck for today.
Oh.
What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with it?
They are worth 1 cent. I forget what he says in the office. Yeah.
I forget too. I'm seeing the other
Shroot.
episode. It was like 1 penny.
Yeah, it's like a penny and he
not
saves
that.
them up or something. But
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, I feel like Craig built this house that we sort of live in now, and my metaphor for this is just I'm trying to attempt to paint it, rearrange the furniture a little bit. I believe the title I came up with for myself is like, I am the executive producer of the Diz Unlimited podcast specifically, but I'm also like the media manager of the Diz. So I handle all that video stuff. Excuse me, that's actually Mr. Manager.
To all of you.
Okay.
Executive producer and Mr. Media Manager.
And we're assistant to the Mr. Media.
Yes, you. Yeah, when we do the show,
Noted.
we are all assistant to the regional
which is
Diz Unlimited
Get it straight.
manager. Yeah. I just want to say again, I do sincerely appreciate everyone's support during this time. I'm doing my best to make sure that we don't have any gaps in any content, and that we can, like I said again at the beginning of the show, have a little bit of a refresh and finish and follow through on some of the ideas that we've been working on and talking about since we got this space. And one of those is finally finishing all of these sets that we have here. So you're going to start noticing some changes. I know I wrote it in here, so I'm like trying to loosely follow my little script here. But we've been working on a Universal set. There's going to be a Diz Unlimited set, and so as far as this show goes, we're going to try and keep doing it live when possible. Everyone, calm down. But I really wanted to sort of dig into this being not just like a travel planning podcast, which we are, because obviously we have Hannah, who's a Dreams Unlimited travel agent. We are sponsored by Dreams Unlimited Travel, and I'll say it over and over again. They're the experts. I like to learn with the audience, so I apologize for that for people who are not comfortable with that. But please don't yell at me. But no, I wanted to really emphasize that, first and foremost, we kind of are a Disney fan podcast. We're here because we love Disney, right? I mean, I know sometimes that we're here because we get so angry and frustrated or whatever it is, but ultimately Disney is that thing that brings us together. So we have like
we're passionate.
Exactly,
okay?
baby.
Both ways.
That's passion, honey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love it. Hello. Welcome 2024.
Hello.
Yeah. But so we have a Universal show where we talk about all things Universal and stuff, and so I want this to be like that version, the Disney show, essentially. So, where I want to talk about more all Disney stuff, and I want to mix in some of that stuff that we leave out sometimes. Like I get it. I know that we have a Disney Cruise Line show, and I'm never going to make it the entire episode about Disney Cruise Line, but I still think we should kind of address those larger stories on here because it is under the umbrella of the Disney company. Yeah. So there's some stuff, that's like, isn't it crazy that there's another ship in the East now?
Yeah.
Wild, right? Like, if you haven't heard, there is a new Disney cruise ship to be registered and based in Japan year-round that will be constructed at that Meyer Wharf shipyard in Papenburg, Germany. Yep. It's a sister ship to the Disney Wish, and it'll feature many popular venues and experiences from the Wish with some modifications, specifically designed for Japanese guests in mind, and that's starting in 2029. See, here's the thing. I might not be the biggest cruiser because at this point I can barely operate day to day, but it's still one of those things where doesn't that sound cool? Like
it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just woke up and it was like, hey, you know how you were getting 3 new ships? Yeah. It was like, what? And then anything because it's my understanding that's Oriental Land Company.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. They're partnered, right? With them.
Yes. And they got the money and they're the ones that do all the cool stuff at Tokyo Disney. Mm-hmm. So in my head, it's Tokyo Disney at sea.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. And what a great time that you could maybe, have that experience on a cruise ship and then also go to Tokyo Disney. So I need to start saving my pennies now because that is my absolute dream come true.
I mean, I think it's a great way. I mean, so we did this this Viking cruise as part of the Diz working. I know that you're like, what does that have to do with Disney? Sometimes it doesn't. For work, and it was cool because every day we were in a new port, and I was like, from someone like me, I was like, this is great. The ship, I'm on the ship at night, so it's like I got my hotel all set up, and I'm going from city to city without having to move bags or anything like that, and so like for me, it sort of has that ABD vibe to it, like that sort of like, what am I looking for? Catered, curated, all of that sort of vibe to it, and so like when you're going somewhere. I grew up in that small town, so I still have that anxiety about the big city.
Yeah.
Oh, the big city.
Well, you live in the big city now.
I know, and going to
man.
these other places lately, I'm just like, no, Orlando's scarier. like still after all these years, but no. Anyway, so I just want to talk about that. I also want to talk about like entertainment stuff sometimes. Like, like what are we watching on Disney Plus? I know the last episode of The Acolyte is on tonight, and I'm a big fan of that show. I watch it every week at 9 p.m. when it releases. I've enjoyed doing that. I'm almost done with Only Murders in the Building season 3. That's Hulu, so technically that's a Disney show. And it's
does the bear count then?
The bear does count.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm watching the bear for sure.
And that's why I want to when we
it's
talk
so
about
good.
the D23 panel, I feel like we need to talk a little bit more about some of that stuff that's represented there that you might not think, but is part of the Disney umbrella.
What isn't
stuff,
Disney now?
Honestly.
We're all Disney. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Our overlords, yeah. And sorry, I am getting used to switching while talking, so like mentally, it's like I put it where I just have to get used to my like fingers hitting the buttons. So if you watch this, I apologize again for the
they get
not
random
delay,
flashes of Hannah and Chloe in
yeah.
between.
Well, sometimes I'll think I have changed it to you, and I'm just staring at you. So it's great for me.
Yeah, you look really good. It's
Good to
good.
know.
But yeah, so like I said, our sets are also in the process of getting those refreshed, and by refresh I mean we're actually going to finally finish it. If you notice behind me, the posters are down off the wall. If you're watching this, it's obviously irrelevant to anybody that's listening to the show, but for those of you watching, we're working on it. I can only spend so much money on fabric and shelves, and it adds up. So Chloe and I have been working on that, and we think we found a fabric backdrop that's going to work for us for this. So it's been crazy. Like, we also need to get tickets to the Halloween party, to Mickey's Not So Scary, and Jollywood Nights. Like, all those are out for sale, and we need to be on that, honey.
Yeah.
And I also want to like switch up how we like do stuff. Like Craig and I had been talking about this for a while, so it's kind of like I want to lean into that. Like, what is your actual experience at Disney like? I know there's a lot of people out there who do enjoy watching, having the vibe, like park benches, parades, fireworks. Those videos will still be here, but I definitely want it to be like, what's the vibe? What's the vibe? See, that's the neon sign we should have made for this show is what's the vibe? Or I need one. If someone has one out there, send it to me. I'll put it on one of the shelves. It's going to be a new shelf, and I'll just say, what's the vibe? But yeah, so, other changes you're going to notice for those of you listening and watching, if you only tune into this show. Chloe, this is your first show, right?
This is my first live show, yeah.
Ooh.
I made an appearance on the post show.
And the Universal show, yes. And so Chloe is the newest member of our Diz team. Hi, Chloe.
Hi, everyone.
I'm sorry. I legitimately don't know your title or your position.
I am a theme park correspondent.
Theme park correspondent
is the official title, but I dabble in a little of everything.
Hannah, what's your title?
I have no idea. I made.
Is that the title?
Up.
The official title is I have no idea.
I don't know, but I'm here. So
perfect.
I'm like
Love
on
that.
Office Space. I'm the guy in the basement who was fired like
Don't
6
touch
months
my
ago.
stapler.
Yeah, don't touch my stapler. I don't actually work here. I just show up. So yeah.
Yeah. Who are you?
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, but
Right.
I thought it would be good today. So today, like I said, sorry, I cut to you, Chloe, because you're where the conversation is going to go in a second here.
Okay. Sure.
I thought today we could talk about Chloe, just not let her talk, just talk about her, and then talk about that D23 schedule that came out, and then do a little celebration of like, hey, Disneyland, you're 69, and you never look better.
I know. True.
So
I mean, can we get to the Disneyland part already?
yeah.
Sure.
Chloe,
I'm an open book.
who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
My name's Chloe. I really like.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
Chloe.
I really like theme parks, probably to an unhealthy level.
Yeah, what makes you tick?
What makes me tick?
Yeah, what's making you tick?
Oh,
What's
we're
that
digging
clock on the
deep
inside?
today.
Like theme park wise?
God, I don't want to do this whole show like Jiminy Glick, but I've been watching too many YouTube
You love.
things.
He's your alter
Yeah,
ego.
I am more like.
Like what do you
Why is
mean?
John Voight so angry?
what do
You
you
don't need to answer.
I need you to clarify your question, please, Mr. Manager.
What? Mr. Manager. It's just manager.
Oh, okay.
Do you not? Did no one watch Arrested Development in this room?
Yeah,
That's the joke.
years ago.
Yeah,
But
he always says when he's like to George Michael, he's like, "All right, maybe manager. Look at Mr. Manager." He goes, "Okay." Mr. Manager goes, "No, just manager." But he always calls him Mr. Manager.
Yes.
It's just a funny
my
thing.
goodness.
But Rhino, you can call her Miss Pretty Sweet Face. Wow, that's weird. Okay,
right.
well,
I don't think.
Thank you.
I don't want to
Yeah.
start off Chloe's tenure by getting her a little bit harassed. There we go. So that's my Jiminy Glick for
I
you.
will call you just Chloe.
Chloe, tell me this. Let's go around the room. Let's learn a little bit about all of us, and we'll learn about you in the process.
Okay,
So,
sounds
Chloe,
good.
what's the thing you love most about Disney?
About Disney, I mean, I'm a very nostalgic person. It'll probably be my downfall one day. I am very nostalgic for the golden age of Disney World. I grew up here going
In
to the
Smallville.
parks. No,
Oh,
I was no.
wrong WB show.
Wrong one, right?
Okay.
No, wrong one.
I like
talking about the
Dawson's
Michael
Creek.
Eisner, the Michael Eisner
Dawson's
era
Creek.
of
Okay.
theme parks, as you know.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are very well aware of how I feel about that era. So I mean, God, where do I go? MGM Studios.
Where do you go?
Great movie ride.
Oh,
Streets
yes.
of America. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set.
Oh God, girl, with the most head injuries of any children ever happened on Disney property.
All right. Well, I wasn't talking about that part of it.
I'd
but,
still
you
take
know,
my kids
Tower
to
of
it.
Terror.
I'd love to.
Quiet him down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably.
And then 90s Epcot, the edutainment side of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, riddle me this. Favorite
Yeah.
park?
Favorite park
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios.
Okay, favorite attraction of all time and then current.
Oh.
Of all time,
Yep.
Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
And current Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
You're
Uh-huh.
quick.
Okay, go-to snack. Well, it's a lightning round here.
Oh, no.
Chat, we need you here too.
It would be Citrus Swirl, but they don't have that right now. Shoot.
Sure. I've been in the Midwest the last
where
couple days.
there's popcorn from the Germany Pavilion.
Yes. Good one. She can be
Hannah,
trusted.
I'd like to hear from you. What's your favorite snack?
I'm like, that's a great one, but I don't know that I have a favorite snack. It's hard to narrow it down. I could do park by park.
Okay, wait. You're going to a Disney park. What's the one you're going to?
Okay, let's just say, Magic Kingdom. It would, because
boo.
we were there today. I would get the cheeseburger egg roll.
Wait,
That would
so
be my
is the
snack.
Magic Kingdom your favorite theme park?
It is, I think. Because I think back to when I would come on vacation, and that was I'm at Disney moment. The problem with living here now is the TTC. TTC is my middleman. It is my purgatory. If I didn't have the TTC, I would have,
The
very,
terrible trash center?
Yeah,
I was trying to think of
that
something I
was
could say where it's
good.
annoying.
Very
Yeah.
quick. We should put that on we could put that on a t-shirt. It would. So my answer would be Hollywood Studios if it was MGM Studios, because that's a park I
Disagree.
find myself going to most often. But I go for a couple things. I go for the atmosphere of the Main Street and the
vibe, baby.
the vibe, and for baseline. But
That's my favorite attraction.
as we know, so that's one of my favorite snacks is the
That's
pretzel
allowed.
and the beer cheese
It's great snack
with
pairing.
beer. So that's
With
a
the
great-
beer, yes.
with a beer.
Emphasis
that's
on
very
the beer.
important. Yeah, mine too. I used to love Citrus Swirl. We were talking about this today. Don't fall into the trap that I did. Citrus Swirl is not the same anymore. It's made by Dole. Chloe informed me on this, and so it doesn't. It's not
taste.
the same. It doesn't taste the same. It's not the icy orange mixed with the vanilla soft serve anymore. It's
Wait, what is it?
Sad times. It's Dole now, so it's just orange flavored and vanilla flavored soft serve together.
It's
And
dairy
it's very
free.
Dole Whip. It's dairy free because the previous one wasn't. It was like it was like Orange Julius. It was like tangy orange slush with vanilla soft serve, and it was so refreshing, so yummy. But
It was so
I
good.
digress.
I think for me right now, if you're like, what's your favorite part? I think the one I spend the most time is Hollywood Studios. I find it to be the easiest in and out. I think it's got my favorite attraction, of right now, or that will ultimately end up being my favorite attraction, which is Rise of Resistance. I feel like I am always just kind of blown away every time I'm on that ride because it's got a little bit of everything for Disney. It's got
how I feel about Star Tours.
That's how you feel about Star Tours?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. I like that it's got animatronics, it's got screens, it's got storytelling. I love how you go through the queue. I love the whole thing. And now to wrap it in, see, when we talk about the things we love, we can talk about, did you hear this? Did you hear this? They're testing single riders.
Oh, yes. That would be a game changer. Because I don't ride it enough because it's, the line's still long and I don't have that lightning lane money.
Yeah.
So I don't get to do as much. That'd be good.
I'll be curious to see what the weights are on a single rider.
Yeah.
Because obviously I think with single rider, they only let in so many people. God, I hope that they wouldn't let in 1,000 single riders and then you end up waiting longer than the regular stuff. So that'll be interesting. Like to check that out. But I would say that my favorite attraction, the other one besides that at Walt Disney World, would be Dinosaur. When I was a kid, I was afraid of roller coasters, I still am afraid of heights, still am afraid of roller coasters. We'll go on them because of this job, but it's one of those where the thing I love so much about dinosaurs, I know we throw that word immersion around quite a bit, but I find that it is one of the most immersive attractions. Yes, it is lighter now, and I can see the spaces in between the scenes. However, it is wow. I remember I still get that feeling a little bit when you take that turn, when you've gone back through time, you're like, wow. Dinosaurs and swamp and the thing, and it's just and it's an adventure without requiring that fear of coasters or heights or something like that.
That's
and
a good point.
Also some of the things that in my life, if you were you were a creature or a person or a character in some sort of fantasy adventure, what would be those things that you'd be into? Time travel and dinosaurs. I'd probably be a time traveling dinosaur.
Yeah.
I'd like to read that book. But yeah, so I really enjoy that. I think the ranking for me right now is Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I would always say that Magic Kingdom is unbiased the best park because it's the theming and the amount of attractions.
Right.
Yeah, but my God, going through the ticket Transportation Center,
What'd you call
which
it?
is the TTC, the totally trash center. I can't remember. I can't remember already.
It
The
was
terrible
totally
trash
trash
center.
center.
That's
Yes.
what I said. Is that it's just it's the process, and the monorail is never it's just become very inefficient.
We
to
know.
get in and
Happened
out.
today. Yeah. One of them wasn't working. It was very slow.
Could you guys tell us a little bit about your adventure that you were on before here? We started the show a little bit late because everybody got here at 12:55.
Yeah. Well,
Not everybody.
It was,
Everybody except for me.
Oh.
But there was an event you were at.
there was an event. So it's in preparation for Dole Whip Day, which is a national holiday. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
This
is the second annual National Dole Whip Day on Thursday the 18th. And so we went out this morning and we had an itinerary of several stops, including Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Disney Springs, Polynesian, Contemporary, and Magic Kingdom. And we only got through Polynesian, Contemporary, and Magic Kingdom, which I think is a good Magic Kingdom dash around,
Yes.
for Dole Whips.
Yeah.
And it was very hot, as we know.
Yeah.
It was hot, so it made the reward of getting a Dole Whip at the end of each trek worth it. How did you feel, Hannah? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I definitely need some real food, so I will say we started at 10 a.m. eating Dole Whip. I had 12 cups of coffee and no food in my stomach. So, no, but it was a great opportunity I'm kind of a purist usually with the Dole Whip. I'll either get the classic Dole Whip or I'll get a swirl. And so it got me on my comfort zone. And there's some creative Dole Whip concoctions out there. And I saw one that wasn't listed on our little exploration today, but it's at Epcot and the Mexico Pavilion at the quick service. And it's a margarita Dole Whip with tequila. How fun. So we'll continue our journey at some point, but we We had a lot of Dole Whip flavored things today.
We did.
And you mentioned it being hot. I just got to tell you, if you were coming between now and the next 6 weeks, 2 months, just prepare. It is unbelievably hot, even if you're from somewhere that is also hot. Just, can't drink enough water. You can't pack enough fans. Can't take enough breaks. It is just be prepared. So.
Yeah, much like Scar said, be prepared.
That's right.
But I do agree with you. I mean, it is hot in a lot of places in the country right now, but it is. Florida is a very exclusive type of disgusting hot, because you really don't understand that humidity can really just like wrap up your body. And the thing when it's really high humidity, that is how you end up with heat stroke, because when the air gets oversaturated, the water from your body, the sweat, which is supposed to be a cooling action in humans, can't evaporate into the air as well, and therefore it starts to heat up your core temperature, and that's what makes you start overheating. Yeah, so I have a doctorate in sweat.
Apparently.
I probably could.
But it is something that like it's just you might be like, oh yeah, I'm from this really hot climate and stuff. Like it's the humidity that really does become like extra dangerous.
And you're not
just
trekking
wet
through
everywhere
theme
too.
parks where, like, I'm from Mississippi, which is hot and humid as well. But you're not trekking across Animal Kingdom back home. It's a different, you're outside more and the whole shebang. So bring your water bottles, bring your fans. Have a Dole Whip.
Take lots of AC breaks. We found ourselves walking through, like I think we walked down to Adventureland through the Emporium, and then we walked back to the Magic Kingdom exit through like the cinema and the confectionery, just as many AC breaks as possible.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I feel like since we're on this topic right now,
Yeah.
might as well just like hit it since we're trying to help people
sure.
with this. A UV umbrella I feel like has become a necessity because think about it, not for rain but more for shade.
Yes.
It can really, really change the temperature for you. It can help somebody, just relax. It can help kids, I think, with meltdowns, being able to like have something to do and hold, maybe, just having that action, being like, okay, you're in charge. Like, but the UV umbrella for sure, the fans for sure. Like, I will tell you one thing that I've purchased recently that's changing my life.
Ooh.
At Target. There is a brand of underwear called Pair of Thieves, and they are an expensive pair of underwear. But they have released
but you're worth it.
They have released a new version of their underwear, which is this like mesh. I forget like the title of it, but it'll say like mesh heat control or something like that. And I have been wearing them with like lighter shorts and stuff like that. It will 100% change your day. Like right now, I'm just wearing like my normal spandexy underwear because I like the lighter, the stretchier.
Tell
I
us
have
more,
thick
Rhino.
thighs. Get ready for this new podcast. What's Rhino wearing under his clothes?
You should save that for Patreon.
I know, for real.
Yeah.
Sponsored by a pair of thieves.
But these, I'm not sponsored. I did pay for these, yes, but I will take sponsorship 1,000% because I invested in a pair, and then they have them in different lengths too. Airplane, I wear the longer ones. But I feel like they really are. There is an element of uncomfortableness that starts to happen if you are going to start chafing or any of that. Listen, I know that Disney can be a fashion show. I mean, look at Chloe.
I don't. It's hot.
So,
I had another outfit planned, so I feel a little out of sorts. But thank you.
But so somebody once told me it's not a fashion show, and I was like, baloney. I was like, everybody celebrates their fandom any way they want. I love wearing these Roosevelt shirts. I have the Lion King on today.
Yes, it's a good one.
And for me, I wear these, and if they ever make the shorts, I like to get the shorts because the shorts are very light and nice to wear to a theme park. We'll combine that with that underwear, and it is like I'm setting myself up for success, and that's what you want to remember to do. And it's like, so there is that element of you can be stylish and have fun with your outfits, but I would be like, be careful in terms of that, like sort of stuff that can catch up with you incredibly quickly, especially if you get caught in one of these downpours we've been having every single day, because literally
they happen every day.
Everything's wet. Everything's wet right now.
Yes, correct. Also, happy Prime Day. So if you got a trip coming up, treat yourself to a neck fan on Amazon, one of these UV umbrellas, a collapsible water bottle, maybe. I know everybody talks about it's not a secret anymore, but the free ice water from quick services, don't pass those up, or if you see, like, I know outside of Casey's Corner, they have a water cooler. If you're in a quick service location and they have like the freestanding soda machine, like refill your water bottles. Like I said, you can't bring enough of that stuff. So yeah, get on Prime, buy yourself some stuff. I think I'm going to get a UV umbrella and a neck fan. I'm going to be honest, I used to make fun of those, and now I'm like, I can't do it, y'all.
I used to too. You just get to a part of your life where you were like, you know what? I don't care. I used to be self-conscious about carrying the fan around the thing, and I'm like, I do not care.
Not in July
baby.
and August, man. No. You need it.
Yeah.
It's bad out there.
They make a neck fan that has a metal plate in the back of it now.
Yeah.
Because my friend has this one, and the battery charge doesn't last forever on this. But again, I think that's why it can help you with like brakes and buying chargers for your electronics and things. Because my phone battery lasts like an hour and a half and then is dead.
Yeah.
So there's this one that has metal, and if you keep it's like your wrists, your neck, and somewhere else, if those areas keep cool, with like a cooling towel or something like that, it keeps your internal temperature down a little bit. And my friend got that one with the metal in it, which is definitely the more expensive one. We're getting into like the $100 neck fan territory.
Whoa,
$200. But
okay.
he was like, he let me put it on, and I will tell you, it is like a game changer.
Okay.
So I don't. You're not going to be the only one there wearing it or looking like that. So just don't.
Yeah.
I'm practicing this thing where it's like, just be who you want to be. And wear what you want to wear. And, like, people really aren't looking at you as much. And you will get people that will say something and do something. They jealous, man.
Mm-hmm.
Get over
Heard
it.
that.
All right. Well, let's talk about something a little more exciting than just sweating to death. I want to talk about the D23, the schedule that was released for this year's, what's the new official title? D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event.
Yes.
And that is happening August 9th, 10th, and 11th out in Anaheim, California. We love it out there. The weather, usually much more agreeable.
Hey, good point. Yeah, just go to Disneyland.
It has been incredibly hot out there. I've seen some, I think in like Palm Springs, it was like 125 degrees the other day or something, which is like a record. So, just less humidity, which is nice. But I wanted to go over, because right now you can make selections. I think it's now until like Friday morning or something like that. It's not priority based. It's like a bucket bid. So you put in the things you want, and they were like, put in as much as you can, but you only get 4 selections from like each category. So
wow.
I don't know how it works if you get notified and then you select your final options. But I went through and looked at everything. So why don't we go through Friday and then Saturday and then Sunday? Or do you guys just want to go through like what you're looking for the whole weekend in general?
I think we
Just
can
wanna
go
do
by
in general?
day.
Go by day?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything.
All right, so how about I'll read it. I know there's no visuals for this episode. Sorry, everybody. This part of the discussion was a little last minute, but then also it would have taken me forever. So anyway, Friday night, the big one will be the evening panel, which takes place at the Honda Center. That is at 7 p.m. That is the Disney Entertainment Showcase. So I'm thinking that's where we're gonna get like the Marvel, the Disney Animation Studios, all that stuff all into one giant presentation now, which is definitely for me the number one thing I look forward to the most. So it's kind of crazy. It used to be on Saturdays, like in the morning. And that would be like, that's where I got to see all the Avengers on stage and stuff like that. So it was really cool. But I'm looking forward to that. In terms of like what's at the convention center, at the premiere stage, we've got the Music of Marvel Studios, 30 Years of Toy Story, bringing worlds of Disney animation to life in Disney parks, and then Disney Princess the Concert at the archive stage. Actually, you know what? I don't want to go through this all.
Yeah,
every single one. I'm just going to go
There's a
through
lot.
ones that sound the coolest to me. And if you guys see one that you want to call out, be like, that's cool. If I don't mention it, feel free to yell it out, okay? So one that I am looking forward to a lot on Friday is the Making a Goofy movie,
Yes.
The Road to Lake Destiny. That's at 5 p.m. That is at the Walt Disney Archive stage. And it says, in terms of the description, it says the creatives behind a Goofy movie phenomenon reunite, reminisce, and share clips from a new documentary about the incredible origin story of this beloved cult classic. I even watched a Goofy movie on Saturday because my friend's husband had never seen it, and I was like, "We're doing it."
What?
No,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my most rewatched from Disney Plus for
Yeah,
sure.
I would agree.
And
You
one of
haven't
my
seen The
biggest
Parent Trap, so-
misses was at D23 in 2015 was I
Yes.
missed Tevin Campbell singing and performing,
did he
and
kill a
so I'm
baby bear?
like fingers crossed.
That's
Ooh,
devastating.
That'd be
Yeah,
so
you
exciting.
need that.
What I'm really looking forward to on that Friday, also on the archive stage, is the Muppets 70, a glamorous Miss Piggy retrospective.
You?
Me?
The
A Muppets fan?
She
I don't
really is going
know.
to fill the Muppets gap that Craig left.
I'm
and that
very
gap
proud.
is where the hand
Proud
goes
to
in
do
for
it.
the Muppet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's great.
But this one they say, join the Walt Disney Archives for a fabulous look back on the last 70 years of the Muppets, but mostly Miss Piggy. Let's dive into the Muppet vaults to uncover nostalgic artifacts along with how we preserve this collection today. And I don't know. I mean, you guys already know I'm nostalgic, so like, hello, I'm a huge Muppets fan too, and I can't wait for this
that
panel.
one's gonna be great. So I have another one from the archives.
Sure.
The Walt Disney and El Grupo: A Journey Through Latin America, and this is one of my favorite documentaries. It's on. You can watch it on Disney Plus, but it's the story of Walt Disney and some of his Imagineers and artists like Mary Blair went to Latin America in the 40s to do kind of a goodwill tour, and they filmed a documentary from it, and then also things like the Three Caballeros are because of it. So I don't know what's going to be included because unfortunately we don't have a lot of those legends still with us. But that's just like a just great time in Disney history. So that's on my list.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know if I would have pegged you for going for that one, but
Oh, I'm into that. Hit me with the deep cuts, the old Disney stuff. Also, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
30 years of Toy Story, crazy. We were talking about before the show the fact that that's 30
what
years
stage
ago.
is that one on? That's on the premiere stage? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first movie I remember seeing in the theaters.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. That was 30 years ago.
So that's got to be good. I'm hoping. I'm like, is it possible Tom Hanks would be there, or maybe not?
Well, it
but-
says celebrate 30 years of Toy Story with filmmakers and Pixar legends as they reflect on the making of the groundbreaking classic nearly 30 years ago and share never before heard anecdotes about the historic film came to be. So in 2015, I did also go. It's weird because these two panels were also there. 2015 is 9 years ago, so it is weird that they were doing this like 21 years of Toy Story. It must have been 20 years of Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it
'cause
has
fell
to be
in the
because-
off year.
Yeah, I was going to say Toy Story came out in 1995, so
Yeah.
this is a year early. But it was a cool that I did remember. Like I enjoyed that panel because again, I have that nostalgia. I love Toy Story. I mean, I was like 10
Who
years
doesn't love
old.
Toy
Remember
Story?
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
And okay, so same stage later that evening, the Disney Princess, the concert.
That's always
probably
a
gonna
popular
be-
one.
I know it's probably gonna be good.
You think you'll have Jodie Benson?
Yeah.
Would you rather do that, though, instead of the Disney Entertainment Showcase is the question.
Oh, that's true because there's no
They're
way you
lining it right
could.
It's a close call. Yeah,
yeah.
Shoot, that's sad that I
know.
didn't think about that.
they did. I feel like they do
That's
that
kinda tough.
to kind of draw the crowds a little bit
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. Well, then no, I wouldn't prioritize that.
yeah. Well, that's
Good
the
point.
the toughest part is because the Goofy movie panel is at 5 p.m.
Yeah, so you
and-
have to.
Well, I don't want to talk about Saturday when we get there because Saturday is another similar situation with something that we all want to do and the experiences.
I didn't really think about that, and that's a bummer because it means like we really would have to. Well,
have
I
to cut
guess.
it
Well, and it's
short.
Friday, so we won't even know how the buses really work yet to get us over there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know that's the
fudge.
part that kind of scares
Only I didn't say
me
fudge.
is because I've never done D23 period, and
This is
so
a whole new ball game.
it's a whole
too.
new ball game.
And if the stadium is sold out, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like full. That's a sports complex that is full,
It's
which
huge.
means
tons
that many people are going over there.
Can you walk it? Or-
No, you can't walk from the convention center. You can if you leave at 2 in the afternoon. No, it's. I mean, it's not that
No.
far. You could make it
Okay.
there before that, but it
It's
is
like a 10-minute drive, right? With
Yeah.
no traffic.
I mean,
and then loading everybody in there. Are they really going to start right at 7 or is it going to be like?
it'll probably be 7:15. It'll be probably pretty
Right.
close because they paid all those celebrities to be there.
Of course,
I think.
of course. But
So,
that's
it is
wild.
one of those things where, yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, when I did the half marathon at Disneyland, it's toward the end of the half marathon.
Okay.
So it's
yeah.
like, I know we were run out and around town and stuff
Sure,
like that, but it's
but-
still like miles away.
Right.
Couple miles away.
There's no, and it's not like you're going to be able to snag an Uber or whatever. You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
Oh, bummer. Realizing
Well,
that live. Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
I know Bluey, meeting Bluey at the Disney Plus
Yes.
thing.
That
That's
is-
basically the entire reason the Disney Plus booth seems to be set up because it literally just every slot says meet Bluey and bingo at the
I mean, is this
Disney Plus
like-
Pavilion.
Is this what's to come to the parks then?
We can
'Cause,
only hope.
No, it says Disney
right?
Plus.
I know it's already
Right.
You're
but
hoping that
that's-
there is going to be a use for the costume again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
they wouldn't at this point.
Also,
But
it
no
just,
Doctor Who stuff in the park. Well, they had the TARDIS outside of Disney Springs in
Yeah,
downtown
brief.
Disney.
I just remember when
Very
they had The
briefly.
Simpsons. I think that was 2 expos ago. They had the Simpsons meeting when they first got that license.
Yeah.
And they were meeting at D23. And of course, like with Universal, they don't have them in the parks here, but everybody thought that like, oh, this is it. But Bluey's a little different.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping Bluey and Bingo will make themselves visible in the park soon.
I love that they're
'cause
available all day, every day at the Disney Plus booth because I'm
I-
like, they know their worth,
They
they
know.
know their value,
I
they
know.
know it's gonna be crowded, and I'm for sure.
So I'm
gonna be
thinking like
part of
Sunday
it.
afternoon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm rope dropping it. I'll be there.
Something else I'm kind of excited is Lucasfilm. Their experience that's over there is experience the ILM stagecraft. Lucasfilm presents the magic of ILM stagecraft, the technology used to bring to life the worlds of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and more. You can hear from luminaries such as Doug Chiang, the creature team from Legacy Effects, and more for a look behind the scenes. I'm wondering if they're going to have like a little setup of it,
That would
like
be
sort
awesome.
of a demo somehow. I don't know how you do it, but might be cool. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be very cool.
I think what's interesting too about this is like like Talent Central, you can reserve where you can get like photos with people and stuff. Was there anybody, and we can say Friday, Saturday, Sunday because this one's a big loop. Was there anybody in there that any of you were trying to like look for? Like Leonard Maltin's going to be there. I think it's cool that like Andrew Stanton, he's going to be there for like signing, and I'm assuming like you can get a picture with him or something like that. But it says literally on his description, meet legendary Pixar writer-director Andrew Stanton, Finding Nemo, WALL-E, signing complimentary exclusive artwork from Toy Story, free giveaway, 1 per guest while supplies last. I think that's really cool that they're
I do
like,
too.
oh, there is
Yeah.
going to be something here for him to sign. I think it also makes the line move better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you see the one Imagineer Greg Pro, who is the executive concept designer for Rise of Resistance, signing Rise of Resistance concept art?
That's cool.
It's very specific.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be cool.
Hannah, we'll talk Saturday, Sunday for the other panels, but you do know on Saturday, cast members and producers from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I was
meet-
about to say that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
that
Me-
would be high on the list for
If
me.
John Roberts is there, I will lose it.
Okay, wait,
I
what
mean,
else is
obviously,
happening
like,
at
it's John
1:30?
Benjamin, but-
This is very
Yeah,
important.
meet,
What else is happening?
meet
at
cast
1:30?
members and producers from Bob's Burgers. Names to be announced for signing opportunity. Even if it's just like Lauren Brashad. I love Bob's Burgers.
Any of them. Any
Yeah.
of
think it's
them.
so cool because
Any of
another thing on that day, cast members and producers from Futurama. If Kathy Siegel is there, I would die.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Hey, going back to the About Us section, if you need to know anything about me, I am Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Wine helps me drink.
Yeah, exactly. It makes mommy fun.
Cast members and producers from The Simpsons will be there as well.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah. Give me Nancy Cartwright.
Any King of the Hill? No.
I
That's okay.
didn't see King of the Hill on
That's
there,
okay.
but that's the
That would've
Saturday. They've
been-
got like young Boba Fett and stuff like that. I think that's just so cool. I like that there's a mix. Like there's the voice of Donald Duck is going to be there, but then there's like Imagineers, but then there's directors and things. So I think that's a really cool sort of a thing. Then they have like you can meet my friend's sister, Ashley Taylor. Some of the writers and artists and things like that are up there. Okay, so Saturday, let's talk about Saturday. Is there a panel in here that anyone's most excited for? This, obviously, at the Honda Center at 7 p.m. is going to be the Disney Experiences Showcase, which
It's kind of like the new parks panel, right?
yeah, because it says, join us Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. at the Honda Center for an immersive celebration of Disney experiences around the world, accompanied by a special lineup of musical numbers, surprise appearances, and a few familiar faces. Disney Experiences Chairman Josh D'Amaro will host this exciting showcase woven together by the theme of music. Throughout the show, fans can expect updates on new and highly anticipated projects across Disney experiences, along with new ways for generations of fans to connect with their favorite Disney stories. Give me a John Williams performance, for the love of God.
Oh my gosh, I'd fall out. I don't know.
He
what
just
would happen.
was at the Hollywood Bowl on
I just
Saturday.
implode. I know.
I would love that so much.
Yeah, and
so
you
much.
went. You've
I've-
been to
yeah,
that.
a couple
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, it was life-changing.
Okay,
I'd love to see it again.
so here's the biggest, saddest part of this whole day. The panel I was looking forward to the most of all of D23, besides Goofy Movie, is 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturday, August 10th at the premiere stage. The Animation Greats plus Bob's Burgers, Futurama, and The Simpsons presented by Hulu Animayhem. 4 of the most influential creators in animation, Matt Groening, Seth MacFarlane, Mike Judge, and Lauren Bouchard come together for a conversation you won't want to miss. Then the teams behind Bob's Burgers, Futurama, and The Simpsons take the stage to entertain with clips, conversation, and fan Q&A. This one is the one you buy the ticket for to go see, I feel like. For me. I don't know. That's like...
No, I agree.
Simpsons has been on for 30 years. Bob's has been on for like 15.
Yeah.
I mean, Futurama has been on for like 20-something, right? I mean, off and on. Whatever. Let's not kid ourselves. But Lauren Bouchard,
Listen.
like The Great North, all this stuff, like crazy.
We get an hour. Right?
Well, I think how everything goes transportation-wise with Thursday is going to determine that. Because my guess is
there
a
you
lot
go.
of people are going to try and be as efficient as possible. But the thing is, too, we already know where we're sitting each night, right? We already have our
Right, so you
seats
don't have
for the
to-
Honda Center. So it's not like first come, first serve, which is great. I love that because I think it relieves a lot of element of stress. But if it takes an hour, because remember, no bags in the Honda Center.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tough for a lot of people who have to go back to their hotel to drop stuff off or whatever.
I didn't even think about
I don't
that.
even know how that's going to work with cameras and stuff because I think it's literally just a little teeny tiny like square. I
I'm
forget
making
what
a
it
note
was,
to
but-
discuss this later because
Yeah.
how are we supposed to work?
Hey. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Well, other than that, I mean, there's something celebrating Wolverine that I think might be cool on the archive stage. I do like that they're, obviously I feel like that's, it's fun. They're trying to celebrate the X-Men more and more and more. But, backlot stage is going to be an Abbott Elementary class in session panel, which says step into the world of the world of Abbott Elementary to explore the comedic brilliance that defines this award-winning sitcom. The cast will break down their portrayals of the relatable struggles faced by educators and dissect what makes Abbott Elementary stand out. That one I would like to go. That has a great cast. That's
It
at
does.
12:15 p.m. on the backlot stage.
What's the principal's name?
I cannot remember,
She's
but
also
she
my
is
alter ego.
like, yeah, for real. I can see that 100%.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
For me, it's the archives again. It's first thing in the morning, but a beautiful tomorrow
Yes.
about the 64 World's Fair.
Yeah.
Wow, what a time! Like if I could go back in time as a Disney fan, that would be it, baby. I would go back to the 64 World's Fair. So I am very much looking forward to that.
There's also a signing of Zootopia 2 director and writer Jared Bush and producer Yvette Marino and then do like a conversation that's at the Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios booth. And I was like, I really want to go to that because Pixar is like one of my favorite Disney movies. Pixar.
I'm like,
Zootopia?
Ever heard of it?
Not a Pixar.
But, and then that's that talent signing that day. I know, Chloe, you're looking for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. But for
Am
me,
I?
it is that.
I was like, really? Are you?
Do you know
Ooh.
me at all?
Yeah.
yeah, she loves zombies.
Somebody does because, there's 4 of them.
Well, she's the one. She just watches it over and over.
I will not stand for this.
I will not stand for this
Get me out of
slander.
here.
But seriously, the Raven's Home photo opportunity. But no, it's the Bob's Burgers like photo opportunity. Like I will lose my mind for me.
Yes,
what about you, Chloe?
definitely.
Saturday, what do you see on there?
I was just looking again, and I'm just staring at the Meet Bluey and Mingo again. No, Hannah already mentioned one of my top ones, the look back to the New York World's Fair. The Stay Tuned You're Watching Disney Channel at 4:30 at the archive stage also sounds like it could be interesting. It sounds like they're going to have modern day Disney Channel stars hosting it, but if they're looking back in time, that's a big part of my childhood. Is like
because
Lizzie McGuire and
Yeah.
Even Stevens and
Revan. It's got. I feel like
Revan. Oh, Raven. I'm like,
Yeah,
who's
Revan.
as well.
Revan Simon. I would like to buy a burger. It is the description of that panel is drawing beloved Disney Channel stars on the Walt Disney Archive stage for a look at some of the iconic series and movies that have created generations of fans. Stay tuned
and
for
yeah,
laughs,
these
fun, and
DComs.
moments you won't want to miss. I'm
Give
telling
me
you
the
right now,
DComs.
this sounds like there will be people there.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be people there. People we want to see. That's
Yes.
rude. I feel like if the meet and greet for Raven is this day, I'm assuming somebody from Raven is going to be
sure.
there.
It's true.
If it's Raven, I'll die. I won't die, but
Could we
I'd be
maybe
very
get
sad.
news that the Lizzie McGuire revamp is actually happening?
Girl,
Oh,
don't
I
even
know.
get me
That ain't
started on
right.
that. Yeah.
Ain't
I
right.
know.
God forbid we have a divorce and a
God
Disney
forbid.
thing. God forbid. God forbid. Hannah, I know you're really looking forward for the Grey's Anatomy 20th celebration.
Grace was never a thing for me, so but it is for a lot of people.
I've seen 2 episodes of the show. The first episode is when Christina Ricci gets her hand. Some guy has a bomb inside of him, and she has her hand inside of him, like holding the bomb. And I've seen the second episode after that. I don't think the bomb went off.
Pretty epic.
Can't remember. Yep. I think it was like after a Super Bowl thing, and I was like, "That's Christina Ricci." And I watched it.
So the only other thing I would say that's tempting on this day is they're doing a lot of panels for Moana, and like,
I see that.
Will Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson be there?
He's been there in the past. Craig high-fived him because I let him sit on the aisle.
Wow. Did it break his arm?
You allowed to have
He was
it.
sore for days.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I'm super interested in that, but I love The Rock.
I mean, they're bringing out. I cannot pronounce her name, and I feel bad about it. Olali Cravalho.
I
I
forget.
don't know.
Something that caught
actually.
my eye is the exploring new parts of the mind behind the design of Inside Out 2 and a dreamy surprise. What is
Yes.
this dreamy surprise they're talking about?
Please
a dreamy
be
sneak
Bing
peek of an
Bong.
upcoming Pixar series.
Did you just say a bong? Yeah, because that's
No, Bing Bong. Bing Bong.
Bing Bong. I'm sorry. I literally was like, they're gonna lace your desserts with LSD or something. I don't know.
Well,
Sorry,
I mean,
they're
is
not.
it a
And that is an
dreamy
awful joke
surprise?
to
I
say.
don't know.
An upcoming Pixar series, though. I'm
Oh yeah,
blanking.
you don't know. You don't know the series? It's the baseball one.
Is it dreamy?
It's like win or
though?
lose.
Is
No,
it- that's
there's
not-
another panel for it or something like that.
No, I'm talking about this
Right.
Inside Out 2 one, though. They're talking about a dreamy sneak peek for an upcoming Pixar series. So I don't know if that's playing into
You
like
think
what
it's
it could be
referring
about.
to Inside Out
Something-
too? Because where is that show they've been working on?
I don't know.
Well, then we have
We'll see.
Sunday. And then on
Sunday.
Sunday, we've got the Legends Awards
yeah.
at 5 p.m., which is closing out the event. It says, since 1987, the Disney Legends Awards program has honored gifted individuals for the significant impact they've had on the Disney legacy. We'll be honoring the 2024 class of Disney Legends on Sunday, August 11th at 5 p.m. at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. I can't remember who's on that list, but I know there were people that we were excited about on there.
Yeah.
But
Harrison
yeah.
Ford.
Miley Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus.
Daddy!
John Williams.
Who? John who?
I'm gonna dress as Hannah Montana that day.
Isn't
Y'all cool with that?
isn't Harrison Ford and
Yes.
John Williams?
Yeah, and John Williams.
Those are like those are the
That's
top
why
two
I
remember.
feel
Yeah.
like that musical surprise could be John Williams. I mean, he lives in LA, I think, but whatever.
Don't they all live in LA, right?
If you're anybody who's in it, but I feel like.
got a home there or something.
I do feel like there's designing the MCU Marvel Studios visual development on the backlot stage that might be interesting, but
I'm
there's
excited
a lot of Marvel
for.
stuff that day.
You're skipping over the Walt Disney Archive stage.
Yeah.
I'm excited for two different things that day.
I didn't skip. I saw what was on there and I wasn't interested.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go back there. The Magic After Dark story of Disney's nighttime spectaculars. Fireworks above the castle became an iconic kiss goodnight at Disneyland, and every Disney park has filled the night with light, music, water, fire. Join Disney's nighttime magicians to hear the stories behind your favorite After Dark shows. And
Good luck
I'm
with that.
here for that.
It's an hour and 15 minutes before the 5 p.m. show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'm going to miss Charles Phoenix's big retro Disneyland slideshow.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
that's a bummer.
yeah, that is a bummer.
Dang.
Poor timing, but I love Charles Phoenix. He's like a comedian and historian, but his thing is rating estate sales and random places, and he finds all these old slideshows and video footage, just coverage of vintage Americana. Specifically, he has like a segment that he does about Disneyland, and it's just fantastic. So I'm excited for him that he has a slideshow that's fun, but poor timing. I don't think I'm gonna
I know.
make it.
There's
Yeah,
a
tough.
couple of those where I was like, it's kind of BS that they did what they
Is
did with
it
some of that.
maybe to appease people that like weren't able to get tickets to the arena stuff? Because can't you purchase the expo
But isn't that
tickets
the
to-
point? Like, if you wanted to go, you could. They can fit everybody in there.
Well, yeah, I thought the whole point of this was so that they were like, okay, listen, we had to widen how much it was
Right.
because we weren't getting enough people into that other thing, so we want to make it as much as possible. So I feel like my perception of this up until the schedule was released was that you were going to get to have your full day at the convention center, and then it was going to be
Right.
this stuff. And now seeing this scheduling, I was like, this is kind of messed up a little bit. Like, I don't know. It's definitely, the days are definitely loaded a little heavier at the end at the convention center. And it's like, I don't know.
That way.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's, because they know those are going to be popular. And so they're hoping that it's like a twofer where it like, the crowds will be lighter for those because of that. I don't know, but I do think it's cool that at Talent Central you can do Pete Docter signing artwork on that Sunday at 10. I feel like
that's cool
because he's the chief. Right? He's the CCO of Pixar right now. So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
There's the Disney's on Broadway Michael James Scott photo op over there for a signing and photo opportunity, and I am a big fan of his. So I was like,
Michael Gary Scott.
Michael Gary Scott.
Gary Scott.
I've heard of him.
But yeah, so it's interesting. I'm excited.
I got one more on Sunday, okay? It is the Jolly Holiday. It's a D23 musical celebration of Richard Sherman, and that's just going to get me all in my feels because so many good songs that we love from the parks.
Oh, yeah.
A tribute to him, so I'll definitely do that one.
Well, to close us out for the show right now, did we want to talk about, because obviously a big contribution for him, Hannah just said it, was a lot of music specifically related to like Disneyland and parks and attractions and some of the best films we've seen. So Disneyland is celebrating its 69th anniversary this week. It's birthday. July 17th, 1955 was when it opened. Next year is the 70th. And then 5 years from now, 75, because this is how time works.
See what you did there.
I think there's going to be like a huge celebration for the 75th.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen for the 70th? Do you think it'll be anything?
Oh, I'm sure. Because they always do something, right? I mean, Disney 100 really wasn't on my radar, and that was a whole thing. So I'm sure it won't. I'm sure 75 is going to be big, but I'm sure they'll do something for it.
What's like the traditional?
Oh, yeah.
Like not gemstone, but the thing for 70th anniversary.
The gift. Well, it was interesting because they went kind of all out for that 60th.
I know, and that gives me. I compare everything to Disneyland's 60th. Now, like that's what I was hoping for Walt Disney World's 50th, and even for doing a 75th at Disneyland. I'm like, well, it's got to be good because the 60th was just, to me, was perfection. I still reminisce on that fondly, but
I personally would like a platinum Kate Castle to take over Disneyland.
Oh,
but
just completely mirrored,
just
reflectured
platinum Kate.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
Can you imagine a platinum castle in Orlando? We'd all be on fire.
Airplanes would be crashing. Yeah, my God,
we'd all be dead. Do you guys want to share your favorite Disneyland
That's
memory,
what I was
maybe?
just going to say.
Yeah. Well, you go first.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go first.
Okay,
Ladies
Chloe, go first.
Chloe?
My favorite Disneyland memory?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
I need
it
a
you
second
think of
to think
Disneyland?
about
What do you
it.
think about? Okay, so for Disneyland, I rather than
Don't
a
wanna go first.
specific
Go
memory,
first.
I am going to go first. You know what? Shut up, everyone. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like the first thoughts I have about Disneyland is like, I love nighttime at Disneyland. Like I feel like I've had some great memories. I published a video that is on this channel that you can watch. That I was there with my friend Diane, who I met through the Diz, and we were on an ABD, the only ABD I've ever been on, which was a Backstage Magic one at Disneyland. And so being able to have this day that I had with her was like truly. And I'm not somebody who speaks like this. It felt like that Disney magic was like in the air. Like it was sort of. It was an element of like going into it because you know me, I'm not a huge planner. I like to go by the seat of my pants, if you will, which I've been known to rip. And so it's like but you got to adjust and do whatever. So I had set out to make this video, and it was supposed to be, is Disney Genie worth it? Which again, this video will be pointless on July 24th. But it became like something else. It was like the experience I was having was just like amazing, and like seeing this parade. I'm not even a parade guy. I love Magic Happens and all this stuff, but then that, like, watching the video back when that sun sets and like that cool air cools just a little bit and like the lights come on there, like watching I know I'm repeating myself here. I apologize. Watching the video back and seeing, like, walking through Cars Land to see the shaboom or whatever they call it.
You know, they play the song with the neon.
Shaboom, shaboom.
Yeah. No. That thing, if you have not watched that, if you're not familiar, at Disneyland, at sunset, every day they do sort of this, like, all the neon signs start coming on, and it's like they're coming on as the sun is setting and the song is playing, and it's just like, I don't even like the Cars movies, and I'm just like, this is such a great experience, and that land is so cool, and you know, it fills up that Disney cup for me, like that. And then I forget where it was where I was walking in the video, and I say it in the video, but watching it back, I was like, oh my God, these parks are well lit at night. Like, you can see where your feet are going, and I just think about, and I don't mean to trash Walt Disney World, but I know some people will be like, oh, Disney World too. And I'm like, no, like Epcot is very poorly lit at night, which is shocking to me. But we just don't have these same type of like dynamic lighting packages that they seem to have really nailed down. And again, I'm going to beat this word to death, is the vibe. It cultivates this vibe so well. And I really felt it on this last trip for California Adventure, where it really, like, all these individual pockets of places just really had this feeling where I was like, this is it. This is that Disney difference. Like, everything is coming together. You have the storytelling through music that's like playing around. You know, you had atmosphere, streetmosphere, you know, whatever you want to. I know it's not called streetmosphere. Is it called streetmosphere at Disney, or is that just Universal?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like you have that combined with, like, all these things are telling the story, but they're not telling a story. They're like create this feeling that they are very good at Disneyland, that kind of like permeates in the air. And so, like, when I think of Disneyland, I think of these like big giant Edison bulbs and just like the vibe of like people smiling and this like feeling of like, I don't know, like, this is cool. Yeah, like this element of coolness, and like seeing people in those outfits. Like, I love seeing people who are Disney bounding, or just, you know, wearing like cool fun shirts or outfits, and they have like the cool backpacks and everything. It's that really refined experience, I feel like, that is like it's like through the bigger swaths of, like, you know, it's the pointillism of Disney. Yeah. It's that you get up close and you start to see the little dots of the painting.
Yes.
That's what I feel like Disneyland kind of reminds me of. It's like it's for you who is stepping a little bit closer and looking at it. And it's a completely different experience than Walt Disney World. And I think if you're somebody who's really looking for that, like, vibe, that's what I feel. And so, like, for me, I think there really is this sort of magic that exists that is a very exclusive.
Exquisite?
It is very specific to Disneyland. That is like, there's Disney magic, but there is like a Disneyland magic.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that thing, and for me, like, that's that warm feeling. That's why I love Disneyland, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's cool, you know? So I'll let somebody else talk. I know that wasn't a specific experience, but it was just like, that's sort of the thing where
feeling.
when I ruminate on it, that's the thing that always like comes up to me. And I think that's a testament to real good salesmanship or showmanship, all of that together, where you're like, you're not just selling the individual attraction, the land, you know, you're not selling the pieces. It's the pieces come together to make the picture, and that's what you get. I feel like a little bit of all of that. So yeah, and the food's great.
Oh, the food.
Yeah.
I know. When
snacks
when
earlier, I was like, let's talk about Disneyland snacks.
Yeah. No, when you asked for snacks, I was like, oh no, that's Disneyland. That's Disneyland. That's Disneyland. Oh no, that's Disneyland. No,
Intrinsic is somebody recommended that in the track in the chat. I feel like that's a pretty good word. Yeah.
I am right there with you. It's definitely a feeling.
You have been right there with me.
I have been right there with you. No, I was just going to say, I have so many good memories of being there with you and Craig over the years. Randomly, like, we met there officially. No, I met Craig there officially.
Yeah, you met Craig officially. You and I had met at the Star Wars event at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
so we'll always have Hollywood Studios, kid.
Exactly. We'll always have Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
No, but over the years, we've been there for like D23 and Disneyland random trips and stuff. But a large part of any Disney park experience, I feel like, is the people that you're there with. So there's a lot of good memories there. But I grew up on Walt Disney World. I grew up with this. I loved this to pieces. And then I always wanted to get to Disneyland, and I didn't get there until 2017. And
wait, for real?
Yeah.
See, my first trip was 2015.
Really?
When was yours,
Mine
Hannah?
was 2015.
So we're
Yeah,
all like
for the
relatively
60th.
newer
We're
travelers
still in the honeymoon
there.
phase, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. No, so 2017 was my first one. My first ride ever was Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is just so crazy
Whoa.
because it was just like the way that it lined up. I was there kind of for work and for play. But yeah, I quickly fell in love with Disneyland because of the intimacy and the charm and just the warmth it exudes everywhere. Just the details alone in the Emporium compared to Walt Disney World.
Yes.
Like, I love
I can
Magic
see
Kingdom
that
for what it
being right up
is,
your alley.
but yeah, but now I can't go to Magic Kingdom without thinking like, man, I really just wish I was at Disneyland right now.
Yep.
And there's one specific place that whenever I close my eyes and think of Disneyland, it's Fantasyland after dark and racing around to those dark rides, doing
Yeah.
the Matterhorn
Right before closing.
closing,
Yes.
right after fireworks. And there's usually like the typical rush leaves after fireworks. And it's just, there's this
Yeah.
peace and just,
It's
I
that,
love
like 2 hour
that
sweet
feeling.
spot or something. 2
Yeah.
to 3 hour
Yeah.
sweet
I
spot.
love
of,
that
like,
feeling.
And just like the lights are on and you're seeing people and you're just like, it's like time move. You're like in a river of time all of a sudden. And it's just like this crazy, weird, surreal sort of thing that starts happening.
Storybook canal boats,
Yeah.
the teacups.
Gross.
Yeah,
I don't
so
like those.
good.
Yeah, okay.
I like
well,
looking at
Snow
the
White's
ducks that are
Enchanted
asleep
Wish.
at night. But the rest, everything else. But
Mr.
Canal
Toad's
Boat's
Wild
different.
Ride.
Yeah.
The Casey Jr. train. I love that.
I
at
love
Gotta
night.
sit in the
that.
caboose.
Oh, you have to sit in the caboose
Yes.
and go backwards. And if you can time it with fireworks, even better. And even the submarines at night is such a specific vibe. And just, I love it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go back. When can we go back?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
August.
Well, we are going back,
Yeah.
guys. All three of us. Yeah. Well, I have an annual pass or a Magic Key, so I'm
That's a
going on.
brag.
I should have brought it up at the D23 thing. They're having a D23 day or that Thursday before the beginning of the event at Disneyland Park.
What does
and
that
so
mean? What is a D23
I don't
day
think
at
they're.
the
I
park?
don't know.
Have they
I
said
mean,
anything?
I haven't seen any information, but do you guys remember when they did the Disney Plus day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's.
I
gonna
was
be
there that day.
Just like photo ops and you know,
Right,
things
and, like,
or
they-
whatever. Yeah.
I have a question. As a
The
pass holder,
swag.
were you able to make a reservation on that day? Or
Yeah.
Magic Key holder?
Yeah.
Because I was like, are they just blocking out for D23? But no. I mean,
no.
it just
It's
seems
not,
like
no.
it's just
God, no. Yeah.
just
Just a regular
D23
day that I think
things
is like
for
special.
Yeah, maybe.
everyone. Cool.
Nice
Yeah.
special treat.
What about you, Hannah?
So my first trip was in 2015, and like Chloe was saying, I grew up coming to Walt Disney World, and Disneyland was always, I was the big Disney nerd in my family, so I always really wanted to go, and then my family kind of had our routine when we came to Disney World, and so we finally went. It was the 60th. And it was that first day of being in the parks, and it was like getting to relive my childhood memories and going to Disney for the first time as a family. Like I went with my entire family. Just it felt like I captured that moment again. My husband and I also got engaged on that trip, so I think everything was just, I was like riding that high and that excitement. But yeah,
Marriage.
yeah, marriage. It's a lot, but no, just that feeling of getting to experience things for the first time, but also feeling familiar. And I hear people say this all the time. It's like Disneyland feels like it gives you a warm hug.
Yeah.
And that's so true as a Disney fan. It just, everywhere you go, you can feel the history and the nostalgia and just the joy, because it is a park attended mostly by locals. It's people who love Disney and kind of own.
Yeah, I think there's some ownership. To
Yeah,
that.
there's ownership to it for sure. And for me, I remember, I think you can watch it on Disney Plus, but it's one of the Disneyland After Dark segments, I think, that was part of that Walt would do. And he talks about how his favorite time of day is Main Street, and it's golden hour, and it's when the lights come on. And so I remember that first trip, and I was like, if I do anything today, I want to be there on Main Street when the lights come on for the first time. And it is just, it's that feeling,
Yeah.
where it's just like, it feels like you could be there in the 60s or whenever. It just feels
Sort of
like time
timeless.
stands
Yeah.
still. So, and I still feel, I don't know if it's just because I don't get to go there as often as Walt Disney World, but I still try to make a point to do that every trip, and it still feels the same every time. So, yeah. You can't put a price tag on that.
I think there's an element for me, and and then we'll finish the show up here. I like having these discussions because it's like this is the thing we love, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's got to be this just like it's that way I started Tap House Talks. I wanted to capture a little bit of that discussion, like a little bit of that, like you're sitting with a friend and it just kind of sort of comes up, and then it takes you where you go, conversational.
Yeah. What keeps the fire going?
Yeah, and it's you're kindling that flame inside of you.
Yeah.
What'd you call me? So for me, again, I know I said everything I said, but listening to your stories with you guys is that I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. Is that now 2 years in a row, Disneyland has had a Pride event, and I know there are people. We're living in a very diversive time right now, and there's a lot of shouting and a lot of yelling and a lot of thing, and there's it can be very difficult for a lot of people, as Jiminy Glick says, different. But no, what I love is there are there are these Disneyland After Dark events, like you said, and they are very different than the Walt Disney World like after hours events, and they're themed and they can be fun, and they've definitely been expanding on them more and more. Like there's a Star Wars one for those of you who are maybe missing Star Wars weekends. It's not quite the same, but it's different and fun, and they've done a Pride night for the last 2 years, and I have been somebody who, I feel like I don't want to say I've lived a charmed life, but it hasn't been a difficult thing for me being, a member of the queer community, as hard as it has been for other people. I feel like I just kind of skirted and skated around stuff. I mean, I'm still working through stuff, and obviously therapists and blah, 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 all that stuff, where it's just like, trying to figure out how do you live to be your most authentic self and celebrate who you are. And it's just one of those things, like being at these Pride events is like, I went last year with my friend, and I really felt it this year because I went with that same friend, and we went with our friend Kurt out there. Shout out to him. And talking to people who watch the show or have listened to this show, and seeing these like parents who are there like supporting their their kids, and just seeing like a park where I was like, every single person in this park, I don't know how many thousands of people are in this park right now, just celebrating like this communal love that we have for this like product, this thing, this element, this space that's been created, like that is, it is not lost to me that it is also a corporation and things like that. But, they didn't have to do this. And there is they created this space where everybody in there is just like, it's like love. And everybody is there to support you. Everybody there, it's no second guess. Everybody's there like, I love your outfit. I love this thing. I love your vibe. I love this. It was just all of that. And
that's beautiful.
More so than it ever is even on a regular day. And even at a Pride event or anything like that, it's not like this. So it's just like, it is that moment where I stop, and I stood on Main Street and I was talking to these people who listen to the show as well, who I had met last year, and they're talking about how they're there like supporting their kids and stuff. And it's just like, it's such a great, truly to me, that sort of an event really does represent, really what part of like, Walt, when he went in to build this place is like, it is optimism. It is it is what we could be together. It is about like unity, is about that sort of thing. Like when we come together and we choose optimism and we choose love and we choose this sort of thing. I never seen that ideology that I feel like is intrinsic, again, there's that word, to the Disney way, to what Disney was supposed to be, or to what Walt himself actually believed in, the optimism of future and stuff like that. I've never seen it so on display as it was at a Pride event. And that was the thing where I was like, this is a slice of a world that does not exist, but it could exist. Like
progression
where we choose to love, and instead of hate and that sort of thing. And I think it's insane. Like that hasn't existed. I've never had that experience anywhere outside of this place. And to really what that could mean to just like the core of what somebody is to somebody's soul, I think you use the word, I think it's invaluable. I mean, yes, you pay money. Yes, there is a thing to be a part of this, but like the thing that happens to you when you're there, the way it could fill your spirit, the way it could change an outlook, the impact that it could have, like even for like younger people, older people, any age, regardless of who you are. Because I talk to people who were really young. I talk to people who were a lot older than me, and it's just like this like beautiful thing where I was just like, this is it. This is literally capital M magic.
I mean,
here.
To quote Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, That's what they call progress. Dean.
Yeah. Well,
In the show, that was great.
Cut the feed. So I just think that to me is something really worth celebrating, and I will think about that on Disneyland's birthday, this year, and that what a beautiful place, what a beautiful thing that can come out of this, that sort of.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say happy accidents, but it's a collision of all these sort of things. And I just appreciate it. And I would say thank you, Disneyland, for allowing me to be able to have that experience. Thank you to the two of you for allowing me to have this conversation. Thank you to everybody out there who are listening or watching this. If you are watching this on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click that bell. You'll get notified because when we're out at D23, baby, I don't know what's going to happen or when it's going up or what time of day. But if you want to know what it is, we will be telling you. So, stay tuned for a lot of that. Again, don't forget, welcome Chloe to our team here.
Thank you.
I don't want to quote Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows. We're all a big family here. There's a joke behind that. I hate
but we're
saying
actually
that in
a big family
workplaces.
here.
But no, yeah, that's I'm actually upset there isn't more What We Do in the Shadows representation at D23.
Is there any?
Fine. No, I didn't see anything.
Oh,
I was hoping for like the
bummer.
Hulu booth because I don't think it'll have started yet, but.
Yeah.
Well, they had American Horror Story there
I
last
remember,
time, so
yeah,
that's why I was
that,
like, it was
though.
possible. But thank you again, everyone. I see lots of people hitting the thumbs down button. Thanks for that too. But thumbs up would be better. I would appreciate it, just for some interaction there on that algorithm. I do really appreciate everybody dealing with us as we're constantly evolving, constantly changing. Thank you to these wonderful people who are on the show to help us with this. Thank you to the wonderful people who are with us live. Thank you to those who listen back later, watch us later. I think this has been a lot of fun. Open to
fun.
suggestions
Let's do it
for
again
topics
sometime.
in the future. Yeah. I don't have a good catchphrase to take us out here, but, we are going to leave in a second as soon as I can pull up this outro video that I think is going to cut me off quicker than I want it to. But thank you for your time out there. Don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel when planning your next Disney vacation. And, of course, if you are one of our Patreon supporters, please stay tuned. Following a brief intermission, we will be going live out there on there and talking more. And if you want to learn more, head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. We'll see you over there. But we gotta get some food in these old bodies here. Well,
I
not
do.
old bodies, but
Heck yeah.
Well, yeah.
Don't
yeah.
call me Pammy. Yeah.
I've got a lot of Dole Whip and not much else going on, so I'm gonna get hangry pretty soon.
Okay. Well, before Chloe turns into the Incredible Hulk, thank you everyone here. Catchphrase coming soon. We'll see you next time. I hope this outro is the right one. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.